Let me introduce Cryptonomy Finance to you again, which may already ring a bell for some, especially for many people who are now active in the stocking area. And I find that especially in a sideways market, or as we have seen in the last few months with Bitcoin, as well as with falling altcoin prices, we are not really tapping into the potential of many coins. That's why I have been increasingly dealing with staking platforms in recent months. Of course, there are the main exchanges that offer you staking, but one should always say, don't have everything on one exchange. And then I became aware of Cryptonomy Finance. It has been around since 2019 and is already quite well known in the market, which is why I signed up there as well. It is also promoted by many, as you can see here. Yes, Trustpilot reviews are also relatively good. And yes, what is Cryptonomy Finance actually? It is a trading organization, a crypto lending company, and a hedge fund, which is ultimately how they make their money. And yes, as I mentioned, I've been in the market since 2019 and I created an account. It's important to know in advance that you should never have everything on one platform. Distribute it a bit. If you have something left over, then put it into staking, where you can also theoretically trade flexibly. So what I find very, very good here is that you can of course deposit everything. In terms of wallets, there is everything you can deposit here. Bitcoin, the major ones. And also things like meme coins, Baby Doge, Dogecoin. Many of you are invested in these, or Bones. Everything possible is offered here, which I find very, very good. Especially with exchanges, you often only have certain options, so 10 to 15 coins can be involved here, sometimes with only 1% or less. And what I find really, really great here is that everything is offered, which is of course very, very cool. On the other hand, of course, there is the high APR or API. However, it should also be mentioned that profit sharing, meaning the percentages that are given to you here, applies to Bitcoin, for example. In the flexible, fixed, and launch pool 1000, you still have to divide by 2. So 50% goes to Cryptonomy Finance and 50% is in euros. So here we are talking about approximately 12.36. Still, that is a lot. And as I mentioned, you have the option to make it flexible here. You know, with many exchanges, flexible is always a bit lower than fixed. If I could just show you that briefly. Here you could have, for example, 153. So I would say roughly 75% is already a lot. But as mentioned, we are also talking about risk funds, 2001, trading organizations, and crypto companies. This allows them to offer it a bit higher, but as mentioned, here it is fixed, here it is flexible, and we will test this out very briefly now. On one hand, with Tether, you can then select it here using the search function, Tether Deposit. Let's just do this briefly. I will do 500, respectively. Come on, let's put in 1000. Click on continue, make a deposit, and then we have an APR of over 15% here. So we made the deposit, that's all there is to it. Then we can do the same in fixed, and for that, I have simply chosen Hedera. Also enter Hedera in the search function here, and it will be displayed to you. By the way, let's make a high deposit here as well. What do we have in here? You can also select down here, which is quite interesting. On one hand, the monthly interest will be displayed to you, but you will also see lower rates, for example, if you now enticing for 12 months, 86%, 9 months, 44%, and so on. So you really have a lot of options here, and we're just going to do Hedera now, which we will simply add here, and let's make it for 9. Come on, let's just do, no, let's do 9 months, just to show you. Then it will be shown to you, okay, this will be paid out to you, I have agreed to this, and create. That's all there is to it. And what is also interesting for many, which I personally have not yet looked into, are these launch pools. You also know them from many exchanges, new projects where you can invest here, etc. So, you are really offered a lot there, but that is also the advantage of such a platform that operates in a business-like manner. It offers these launch pools so that crypto companies can, let's say, pre-finance themselves here. Here, you can stake. It's really cool. So, I'll show you everything and keep an eye on it, providing updates. Of course, I'll put all the links in the video description below if you want to register there. And yes, it's a good alternative for me. As I said, only invest what you are willing to lose. Crypto is generally a risky asset, I must say, but it can be worth it. I'll just say that. Also here, at Cryptonomy Finance, you send.